Hi there. Refreshed after the day off? Coming to terms with another 3 weeks of rather limited. Hello Marianne, hello Heather. Those Pontefract cakes were divine. There's about 2 left. Hello Annaline, hello Melanie, Rennick. So nice to see you all. Marianne Ray first. You were the first. Well, on this occasion, obviously I am Marianne number 1. But anyway, hello Carol Hobkirk, hello Sarah, hello Jules, all the usual suspects. I nearly didn't come on because just before 12, I was listening to From Our Own Correspondent, which is on Radio 4, great programme. My elder daughter FaceTimed me, and that's Ruth. And she's got a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old, and she was just in the woods around the back of their house, and we're chatting away. Someone tried to ring me up when I'm on live video. Anyway, so I'm chatting away and I can see Hamish, age 2, in the background go across a bridge and fall off the bridge into the stream. It's like, so she just uttered an expletive and then went, and she's just rung me back to say he's absolutely fine, but he's soaked, fell in the stream. Hello Jules, hello Judith Banks, Edward Furlong, oh how lovely to see you all. Rachel Clark, hello. How is Icklemarv? Oh, so for those of you who've been following the tale of little Marv, who is our rehomed dachshund, who was always a little fat chubster and was never any bother at all, quite ugly though for a dachshund, he... It's all right, Kate. I'll speak to you later. This is who tried to ring me. Hello, Lucinda. Hello, Caroline. And Jenny. Don't go away because I've got plans for you. Anyway, Marv, who is the little sausage dog who was diagnosed with diabetes last week and put on 1 unit a day, which I have completely got to grips with, still wasn't very good, still very thin, very sort of peely-wally, as you Scottish people say. We took him back to Roger the vet. That doesn't sound right, does it? Roger the vet. Anyway, we took him to the vet, Roger, and he has upped the dose to 3 units. So we're on day 2 of 3 units, and he seemed all right today. So there we are. I'll let you know. Susan Margaret, hello Lucinda, Jennifer, whoops, Daisy, Rachel, hello watching live, Fiona Ashford as well, hi Sue Cree and Rebecca and Stephen Bridget, the counsellor from Rothbury I was telling you about the other day, Anne Nixon, Marianne Ray, early start, yes, right. I am aware that some of you have been shopping in the last 3 weeks and your paints and paper have arrived, and that's really, really exciting. So I've got some advice. Peter Weiberg, hello, and Lindsay Rutherford as well. The thing to do with new paint is not to sit and look at them and think, that's really, really nice, and try and keep them clean and tidy. Don't. You've got to make a mess. And I'm going to make a suggestion for people who are maybe coming back to painting, or people who are a little bit scared of their new paints. Hello, Louise Bice. I don't know how you pronounce it. That was a lovely painting of a cockerel. Hello, Evelyn. Hello, Veronica and Eddie Hector. Nice to see you. Roger the vet, I know. Anyway, I'm going to tip you up. Hello, sunshine. Hello. Still waiting for my paints. Oh, Sarah, your paint hasn't arrived, but this is very much for you. The first part of this short session is for people who are maybe a little bit new to painting or whose paints have just arrived. And I'm going to suggest something that you do. You just need a scrap of paper. I've got, my paint. They're quite big. This is my Ludlow paint, obviously not yellow, and I put it there with a palette knife, so I've got loads of lovely colour there. There's my lovely blue. It's the same, French ultramarine. It's been put in there with a palette knife, and that is, oh God, I've got it everywhere. And that's Windsor Red. I'm just going to put a few colours here and give you an idea of what you want to be doing when your new paints have arrived. You need to have some fun, and you don't need to worry one tiny bit about what the subject is. So I've got one scrap of paper here. That's supposed to just be water. And then just a small brush. Okay, here's one of your new. Get your paint and just go like that, right? Not a little careful dot, a proper load of paint. So the blue, same. Magic. I'm washing my brush properly. I'm going to get some yellow. A little bit more. Properly load your brush with stacks of colour. Put it on a bit more. And just play. Keep doing it. I'm going to get some of my blue here. See what happens with it on this lovely paper. We've got that amazing river delta thing going on here. I've said it before and I'll say it again because not everybody heard or was here. All these things that just happen on the paper, this is the magic of watercolour. It really is absolute magic. So that is just a dribbly old mess, but it could be a horizon, and they could be the trees, couldn't they? Are you starting to sort of see what could possibly be going on here? And you remember that and think, how did I do that? Well, I had a whole load of colour here and then I just let it do that. Another lovely thing to do, just like drop paint on, see what happens. On the dry paint, it doesn't go anywhere. And on the wet paint, it bleeds out. And on the paint that's like not quite, neither one nor the other, it's a good idea to turn things around as well. And see, it's sort of spreading down there. And down here something else is going on. This is a good way to work out what happens to colour when it dries. On this paper, weirdly, can you see it's like almost minute little white dots appearing. And watercolour paper is slightly different on this side to this side, and you'll notice that as you go on with your painting. As you can see, this is called rough, and we do like to have a little titter when I say I like it rough. I mean my paper. So yes, I like rough surface paper, and I think if we did something on this side, it might be slightly different. You know, I've done a few sort of bits of examples here, but I'm just going to wet that there, get that brush again, and let's see what happens when I put some paint on this side. I think it'll behave slightly differently. It has. It has behaved differently on this side to the other side. And this is you and me learning about paint and how it works and pigment, and how to use it to have a lot of fun and maybe end up doing really, really detailed paintings or doing amazing wild landscapes or just having a lot of fun. So do this sort of stuff before you even think about painting something. I've got some more paper here. This is a different type of paper. And that was something that just didn't quite get completed. I'm not sure why. And again, I've got a different shape brush this time. Can you see that? I'm not quite sure what you can see. I'm going to load my brush up, bone dry, right? Okay, so here the solid cover, And here, I've left little bits of white. That's interesting. And I'm just going to tip some of that away. Get the blue. And just get some water and see how far I can drag it. See what happens. And you see that. You see the blue is bleeding down that river of water. Let's see what happens when I get a bit of yellow and then join it with some blue, bit of red, and you can see we've got green going on here and purple going on here and then mud at the bottom. This is just lots and lots of fun. Pretty nice. So you can have lots and lots of fun with your new paint and find out how much poking around in the paint you have to do with your brush to get that quantity of colour. So yeah, do lots and lots of playing before you think about doing a subject. Now then, as a lot of you know, where I live is just amazing. I've got hills out there that are predominantly, there's a lot of green in the foreground, but a lot of the blue is reflected in the landscape. And this morning I quickly started a couple of paintings, tiny little ones, just to sort of give you an idea of how I might approach a landscape. I'm just going to scroll. My paint and paper has not arrived. Grr. Well, Marianne Ray, you don't need to worry because you've got the videos and you've seen loads and loads of sort of painting demos, and they're all on my Facebook page for an eternity. So Melanie Rennick, my grandsons Jake and Felix, say hi. Oh, Felix, hello, how are you? Well done on your art project. I hope your teacher was pleased with you. I'm looking forward to meeting you one day. Maybe come over here sometime. Get your mum to bring you over. Yes, he did do a project. Sarah Chambers, hello. Why don't you enthusiastically wave at me? Liz Else, or maybe it's James, because see, my sister is Liz Else and you'll see her name there. But it's probably her husband who's watching, because I don't know why he doesn't have his own Facebook account. Maybe he doesn't know how to do it. So hello James / Liz. Hello Jane Harbottle. Hi Fiona. Hello Deborah, who I went to school with. Hello Olivia, Anna, Alex, Petra, Robin Pearlstein from Australia. I thought the same. Who is this Peter and why does he get a special mention? Do you mean Peter Weiberg? From Cumbria. Oops. Why does he get a special? You get special mentions too, Jules. Hello, Melissa Lawson. Hello, Ross. Hello, Alex Richardson. Oh, God. This is not pom-pom hat weather at all. Hello, Valerie Elliott, Gillian Patterson, Alison. Oh, how's the baby? Say hi to your cousin. Hi, Robin. Hello, Debbie. Hello, Celia. Karen, Christine Haig, Sally. Hello, William. Hello, Bruce. Hi Malcolm, Fiona, Katie Weatherhead. How did the bike ride go? It was really, really short. Should have said. I am going to quickly talk about this and do a bit of painting and chatting. So it's all hills round here, and I do very sort of experimental pouring on of colour and then bringing it together afterwards. And I just did this. I was thinking about the colour of the landscape and Katie Weatherhead, you need to go back to the start. You've already missed two moments. I don't know what the second one was. There was obviously Roger the vet. Anyway, so this was soaking wet a little while ago, and I literally just put some Payne's grey up here, and then I tipped a bit of green and a bit of blue, and then a little teeny bit of alizarin crimson in the bottom. And I am thinking about where to go next with this painting. My huge brush, whoops, which has just dripped on some paper there. I'm going to get some broadly blue paint, because I'm always very much aware that most of the colour in the landscape today is blue. I'm looking over the hills, and I've got a section here, then a stone wall, and then a bit of hill, like rough hill, and then a little field. I'm so lucky to be able to literally just look out of the window. I mean, I don't stick to it religiously. And then we have a river, and then we have two in-by fields. That's like quite good quality fields, grass fields. So you begin to see the landscape. I've got a board behind me here with bulldog clips, and I quite often hang paintings on there. And I think about them and keep going back to them. I'm just going to scroll you up. Oh, I could use that paper for mixed media. I thought I might hoover, but I'm going to play today. Jane, are you here, Noxie? Yeah, where's Noxie? Where's Paul Naughty Knox? Right, I'm just going to put that to one side. And this painting here is a bit like the one I've just done, but this is bone dry now. So I'm going to have a little go at the next section. But I quite like a bit of drama in the sky, so I'm going to get some Payne's grey and a bit of alizarin crimson. A bit more Payne's. What am I doing? Payne's grey. That's just water I've just put on there. And I'm just going to play around with that. Spend a lot of time looking at the sky, and I'm not one of these sort of exact sky type painters. I'm going to have to keep it tilted a bit like that while I think about where the stone walls are on this particular landscape. So the bike. My husband, who I've known for 30 years, we've been married for 20 something and knew each other for 7 or 8 years before that. And actually we were married and we didn't live together for about 6 years because neither of us wanted to rush into anything. Anyway, he's always got an obsession. For a little while it was me, and then it was canoes, and then little sailing boats, and we used to sail canoes as well, that was quite funny. And more recently he's been quite obsessed with bicycles, and I would say we almost have a national collection of bicycles now. I'm going to tip you down, turned in for a prolonged shot of your... I'm not going to repeat that, Katie Weatherhead. Yeah, can you see? Yeah. He's obsessed with bicycles. We've got about 15. He likes to think there are less, but I'm not as stupid as he thinks I am. You know, there's one in every spare bedroom. There's one in my card room, which is the room I have all the cards in. And I'm going to do some... What am I going to do? I think I'm going to do some forestry here. And there's one in the garden shed. In fact, pretty much every door you open there's a bicycle in. Anyway, he went a bit... About a year ago, he was just behaving shiftily. And he went away and came back with the most ridiculous bicycle I've ever seen in my life, just about. And it was a recumbent tandem. You know, when you're driving along and you see, you just see a little flag, and then you realise that there's a lunatic lying down about 3 inches from the ground on a bicycle that is only about like 2 feet off the ground. That's called a recumbent bicycle. So you think that's dangerous, you want to see a recumbent tandem bicycle. So he bought this, and I looked at it and I said, don't even think about it. Don't even think. I'm never ever going to go on it. But he's bided his time, and you know, lockdown, here we go. He's mentioned it a few times, and the thing is, Fifey's been so good to me that I've got to sometimes pander to him. Anyway, so yesterday we got this tandem bicycle down. Rig and furrow, something I absolutely love. The stripes created by years of ploughing that you don't really get so much. I'm going to put some on here. So we got it down from the loft on his side of the shed. Oh, I can't remember which colour I was using, that one. And I have to say, I was a little bit frightened. And he made me sit on it last night so that he could measure my legs and work out how much to shorten the section at the back by, in order that I could cycle, because it must have been set up for 2 chaps to go out doing their tandem cycling. It is a beautiful, beautiful bike. I'll put another video up if I live. But I'm terrified. It's not just a tandem. It stands up by itself, so you don't have to sort of get on and go. It's like a tricycle. It's hard to explain. Sorry, I have to go watching the parents checking. Hello, Jimmy. Fascinating. Paul. Oh, Paul, good of you to join us. How much of your time do you spend messing about with paints before starting a subject? I can't be bothered to answer that. Barbara, I'll tell you another time. So we go. Keep up. Will you be doing hamsters? No, I will not be doing hamsters. And do you know what? Somebody sent me a message this morning and they said, do you ever paint squirrels? God. And then they have a pet grey squirrel, which they found as a baby in the wood. And so I replied, which honestly, I replied, and it was the truth. I said, no, I'm not really that interested in painting them, but I have eaten them, which I have. And I don't think she thought that was very funny. But it is true, I have. I'm going to put some more rig and furrow on this bit here. And then I'm going to change tack completely, because these Rococo tulips that some of you might have seen the day before yesterday, before I had my day off yesterday, they've opened up and they look absolutely beautiful. And there's one here which I'm going to show you. So it's beginning to build up into something, a bit of a hillside. Hello, Fraser Manners, how are you? Hello, Amstus. Hello, Anne-Marie Young, how lovely. Stephen and Helen, Miriam, bit of are you sure that's not sap green? Chris, hello. You sure it's paint? I know, I'm sorry. I got sap green and Payne's grey mixed up, and not the actual colour, just the name. And it's just because it's quite it's quite tricky, you know, talking and painting. So we talked about playing with paint before. You need to be able to play with paint and have fun with it to be able to say, right, I'm going to put that there and I've got a fair idea what's going to happen to it. It'll sort of spread out. So anybody who's ever looked up at the hills in the evening will have seen something like this going on. Right, I'm going to put that to one side now and I'm going to show you. Oh yeah, so we've got two sort of landscapey things beginning. I'm going to show you, I'm going to turn you around. See this? How lovely is that? I don't want to move it because where the view I have of it is absolutely gorgeous. And I just was thinking about how to keep you lot entertained, and I just sort of did a very, very simple thing like that before. Hello, Catherine, how are you? And Susie, Melanie Rennick, make sure the paper is in the middle. Okay, sorry. I bet you do. I bet you missed the view. So I've just got a scrap of paper and I'm going to use my mostly just Windsor Red. Shut up about your fabulous views. Some people live in flats. I'm sorry, Jules. I know it's bad. Don't forget the seagulls. Hello, Lynn Devine. Hello, John. Hello, Carol. Hello, Silvershell. And Ian, so anti-sky type. Well, hey. Paul Knox Logs. Does he count horses? Well, I've only got 2 horses. I do know people whose husbands look out the window now and again and they say, I thought we only had 3 horses. And the wife says, yes, there are only 3. Look. But what she does is she always buys, she's probably got, I know one person in particular, Pauline Fletcher, and I think she's got quite a lot of horses, but she always buys the same colour horse so that her husband just sees a brown horse and thinks, I'm sure, I don't remember seeing that one before. And she just says, don't be silly, you know, it's the same one. And obviously they move around in the field, so the chances are that he might just fall for it. Right, lovely, lovely rococo tulip. Does he count horses? Hello, Carol, Christy, Clotton. Right. I just sort of test the paint, test the colour. Again, a big brush. And I'm just very quickly glancing up, seeing the shape of this absolutely lovely, lovely tulip. I've got about 2 bikes. One of them's really, really, really cheap, and I use that for cycling along to well, at the moment to my lambing duties at the farm next door, or to the shop, or to my one of my several nearby swimming places in the river just down there. And then I've got another bike which is really good for when we go on trips, because there's this thing with trains. You can only, I think, like trains, well, it depends which company you go with, but I don't know, it's Virgin or East Coast or whatever. They only commit to having space for maybe 2 or 3 bicycles, and for some reason you can't always book. But if you have a folding bicycle, the rules are all different, and it's much more. You know, you're more likely to be able to get on. So Vivy and I each have a folding bicycle, and my folding bicycle is really, really lovely. And I have a Dutch friend who, when I said I have a folding bicycle, she saw me on my bike and she said, that is not a folding bicycle. And I had to say, look, I know you know your bikes, but this is a folding bicycle. Oh no, it's not a folding bicycle. And And I had to literally show her on the frame the perfect joins where you put an Allen key in and fold it up. And she had to eat her words. Yes, sir. So bicycles are all right, really, and you know, they don't have a mind of their own, so they're not going to suddenly get a fright if you see like a flapping piece of bin liner in the hedge. Really love these. And the thing is, with flowers, you've got to have them right in front of you, then and there. And there is a sense of urgency, because if you leave it too long, it's no good sort of thinking, oh, well, I'll do a little bit and I'll come back to it tomorrow. Pointless. It'll have changed. Just get cracking. Pip's there, Jane, Michaela, he made me. He made me? Well, wait, is this live? Yes! Yes, Mark Burns Cassell. This is live. I'm really here. Hello, Lynn Steele. Hello, RKB. How lovely. Yep. Rats with fluffy tails. The great. Yes, I agree with you on that one. Samantha Coe. Hello, Tim. Pornox exciting. I've only caught one so far. Why don't you just have a little chat? Messenger. That's where you can have your private chats. This is me and other people who've joined us to get, you know, painting tips. And I'll try to be quick so you don't get bored. Although, let's face it, there's not a whole lot else to do. I expect you've all done your baking, you've baked your bread, you've got your old bread maker out and discovered that all you do, it's lovely for the first few loaves, and then you realise that you're struggling to fit into your clothes because it is so delicious. And we had to give our bread maker away because every time we made bread, we just had to eat it. Absolutely delicious stuff. And you see, this is just on a scrap of paper, and that helps you feel, well, it's not something precious. This is just something I'm going to do because it's there. I hope it's not too boring. So have we still got Felix watching? Felix did a really good project, and I was included in his project, which is a great honour for school. So we've got the basic thing going on here. Have I missed anything out? Oh yes, there's another petal over there. And then I'm going to get some slightly darker red and pick out the areas where the shadows and things are. So I think I'll get my alizarin crimson, so a bit of that. And again, it's really quick. I'm just sort of squinting my eyes and working out where the depth of colour is, where it really is, and trying not to get too hung up on stuff. I'm beginning to get a sense I hope you can see okay. It's quite nice just working with one colour. In fact, I have mentioned before that I spent a year painting with just, what do you call that stuff, that black ink? Just Indian ink. And I sort of taught myself how to use paint without having to have real paint, and tone, how to get grades of tone or shadows, you know, the depth areas of deep colour. And So it's not too bad. Obviously, we've got some yellow. Every single petal begins yellow. It's like a flame. Oh, golly. I'm going to turn you around so you can see, I hope. Maybe not. I'm not really... Whoops! Okay, I've completely detached you. So, you see in there, every petal starts with yellow, and then there's green at the edge, and then you've got that going on in the middle as well. Eaten them. Not sure what you've eaten. My neighbour has them in his freezer and boils them up for stock. I really lost you there, Sarah Chambers, I'm sorry. Paul, yes, I'm not getting any attention from Mark. It's all about you, isn't it? Me. Watch green parakeets today in my local park. Have you ever painted them? Whereabouts do you live, Heather? I thought those green parakeets were down south. I cannot believe the time has flown. It's time for me to go. I'm just going to quickly... Obviously, we're missing the yellow bits, but hopefully that gives you an idea about how to approach like a monochrome flower. Just see what else. Hello, Alison. Hello, Jane. Have you rescued any Mackhams recently? Mark, you were so rude to that poor woman. There's a Turkish tale where I'm going to have to look at that. Those Dutch. I know. I don't want to be sort of generalised, but Dutch people are quite clever, and they know it. I love your flow. Where can I get those brushes online? Steve says he doesn't want to give his bread maker away. It's me. Hello, Jane Dalgleish. Was it a history project? No, it was art. Gorgeous with the deeper colour added. He's not watching because he's too busy, but I'll send him... Oh, brilliant. Hello, Sarah. Vicky, Sir Alexander Miller. Product placement. I've forgotten about the product placement. Never mind. I'll just do more tomorrow. But really, you've had enough of my time. Look. I've got important paintings to paint. I've got ideas. Anyway, it's been so lovely. Thank you for joining me. Have a really, really lovely day. As I see my face has gone like beetroot cheeks again. Never mind. Darren, hello and goodbye. See you tomorrow at 12. Bye.